to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. My name is Madeline Burke, alongside the Super Bowl champion Sean O'Hara. The Giants back at MetLife for a Week 9 matchup with the 49ers, but it was San Francisco that came out on top. 34-24 is the final score. Sean, the Giants got the ball to start the game, marched down the field for an opening drive touchdown, and then it wasn't until later until the offense got points on the board. What happened?
Yeah, Madeline, listen, I think this is disappointing for everybody, and this is kind of like one of those quotes that your dad would say, like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I think we all expected more. You mentioned it, they started out, opening drive touchdown, and you thought, all right, this is exactly how you want to start the game. And then the offense disappeared. 3 out of the next 4 possessions were 3 and outs. And you can't do that. You can't take a nap that early in the game. And the Niners scored on both of their opening possessions 2 touchdowns. So, you know, right out of the gate, you just felt like the Giants were from behind. And today just felt like a struggle. It felt like it was a struggle on both sides of the ball. Anytime there was a good play, it was like we took 2 steps back. That was both on offense and on defense. Now look, to give up 34 points right now, this 49ers team is just as depleted, if not more depleted, than the Giants roster. This was like the Pinata Bowl. I mean, both teams have been taking a whacking, and they've been injured on so many different positions for both teams, and yet the 49ers scored 34 points. They had done that all season long. So the defense, I feel like they share a lot of the blame in this loss right now, and they just did not have an answer for this 49ers offense. They couldn't get them off the field when they needed to. They had a couple of sacks, and we had a turnover in there that you thought was going to spark this team. And every single time, you know, you thought that the momentum was going to get, you know, swing the other way and the Giants would take over the game.
Well, and you
they
mentioned,
just kind of found a way to hurt themselves.
Yeah, and Sean, you mentioned the injuries. Of course, you know, the headliner injuries. Malik Neighbors out for the season. Cam Scatteraboo out for the season. But on the defensive side of the ball, coming into this game, the Giants' defense is banged up, especially in the defensive back. Javon Holland out for this one. Paulson Adebo out. Cordell Flott out. Art Green out. We saw Tay Banks, and then the rookie 7th-round pick Corey Black getting his first NFL start
and even he got
in this
hurt.
game, and he got hurt. But you know, Corey came in there last week getting his first playing time after being called up from the practice squad. So a lot of new faces, a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. That's got to affect the communication on the defense.
Well, no doubt it affects the chemistry, and you don't have as many reps in it. But look, in the NFL, it's opportunity for someone to step up, and that's what the NFL is all about. Somebody has to go in there and make a play. And defensively, look, the injuries are definitely a factor, but this Kyle Shanahan coached offense for the 49ers, they exploited the second level. I thought the linebackers were struggling all game long, trying to find who had the football, trying to keep up with, you know, who's out of the backfield. Christian McCaffrey, for the second week in a row, we had a running back wide open for a touchdown in the red zone. Like, that can't happen. Last week it was Saquon Barkley. This week nobody covered Christian McCaffrey, and that wasn't just on that one play. It happened multiple times. So there's some things that are not happening in communication. They're not on the same page.
Yeah, and that touchdown early on in the game when McCaffrey was wide open in the end zone, it looked like Bobby Okereke got picked in the end zone there, right?
Well, that can't happen. Like, if you're a linebacker and you have the running back, you have to give yourself depth. Like, you've got to anticipate everything happens. All the rub routes happen in the red zone. Like, that's exactly what they're designing to do. And Kyle Shanahan's one of the best at that. So, look, Mac Jones has been, you know, he's been managing this offense, and he's been efficient. He was highly efficient. I mean, I think at one point he was 19 for 19. So they were doing a lot of short throws and high percentage passes, just trying to, you know, hey, put together big play drives, 12-play drives, 13-play drives. It was not, hey, we're trying to go deep. So it was the fact that the Giants couldn't get off the field defensively. And, you know, look, they stuffed McCaffrey. Coming into the game, it was, hey, look, we got to slow down Christian McCaffrey. We can't let him run all over our defense. And yet he ended up hurting them more in the receiving game. And as the game went on, he tacked on some more rushing yards. But, you know, frustrating day for the Giants, frustrating day for the fans. There was a lot of red here, a lot of red and gold. And I never felt like the energy was there like it normally had been on the previous home games.
Yeah, and you mentioned Mac Jones's efficiency. He didn't throw his first incomplete pass until the third quarter. Second quarter, though, there was a Brian Burns sack that forced a fumble. Abdul Carter came up with it, a fumble recovered in the air. The Giants defense put the offense in a position, in good scoring position, they weren't able to convert on that.
Yeah, great play by Brian Burns, and look, he continues to have another stellar season. That play was huge, obviously a big turnover. He also had a huge batted pass on a third down that forced them to kick. So Burns is definitely making his presence felt. I think when you look at this 49ers offense, the one thing they struggle with is their offensive line had been struggling. They've been struggling in the run game. They've been struggling in protection. And it just didn't seem like the Giants' defensive line was as disruptive as we thought they were going to be coming into this game.
Yeah, 34-24 is the final score in favor of the visiting San Francisco 49ers. But Giants fans, I want to remind you, join the Giants family for the 2026 season with a season ticket membership. Scan the QR code on your screen to lock in your seats today, or visit giants.com/tickets to secure your seats. Now, we've got much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. After the break, head coach Brian Daboll.
It's the dream we all share, to be anything and go anywhere. So if you need room for your family, your gear, side hustle, or anything else, get the SUV designed for your dream. The Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, returning lessees can lease a Ford Explorer for $309 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford stores.
Risk gets a bad rap. It punishes the unprepared. The game hits hard. But those who embrace risk and translate it know it isn't the opponent, it's the opportunity. At Moody's, we break risk down. We spot the shift, because the smartest play often comes down to seeing what others don't. Moody's, decode risk, unlock opportunity.
Said if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
You gotta know when to hold 'em.
Pull 'em already.
Know when to fold 'em.
Know when to walk away.
Travel.
Know when to run.
Run, run, run.
He's automatic from the 40.
You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
And now, your NFL airmen, led by Peyton Manning. Omaha! They've changed course.
Peyton Manning?
They're going for the beer. Whoa! Touchdown!
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
I shouldn't have called that audible.
Right.
What?
Capability inside and out. How it should be. The Hyundai Santa Fe.
Lease a Hyundai Santa Fe SE for $279 a month, or step up to the calligraphy and get up to $4,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Here we are in New York City. If you're a repeat criminal, this place is perfect for you. This gem of a home is in the heart of Alvin Bragg's Manhattan. There's lots of storage for all your shoplifted items, tall windows to look down on your next victims, and a doorman to welcome you back every time you're released from jail, thanks to the city's softest DA in history. There's never been a more hospitable city for criminals.
Elect Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney, paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
Time now for the scoring drive of the game, brought to you by Citizens. For the scoring drive, we'll bring you to the first quarter. 10 plays, 64 yards, 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Off the clock, capped by a 15-yard receiving touchdown by that man right there, Theo Johnson. And as a reminder, for every scoring drive this season, Citizens, the official bank of the New York Football Giants, will donate $750 to the Giants Foundation to support their work in the community. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Madeline Burke alongside a couple Super Bowl champs, Sean O'Hara and Carl Banks. Carl, we've got you on the set. We've got to talk about the Giants defense. Just overall, what went well and what went wrong for this defensive unit?
Well, not a lot went well.
Short answer.
They couldn't stop anyone. There were drives where there was one pass and they just marched the ball right down the field. And it's disappointing because you want to be able to play some level of complementary football. When your offense is fighting like heck, you got to be able to get a stop, and you got to get it early in a possession, not when they cross midfield, right? So They didn't stop the run well, and it was a repeat of what we saw last week.
Carl, you listen, the legacy uniforms out here, I mean, I know that always kind of, it brings a different kind of energy, but it also brings Giants fans and myself back to like when you were playing. Like we were watching the Giants defense, the Big Blue Wrecking Crew, and that was what the Giants fans are longing for right now. When you're playing a defense or an offense like the 49ers have, Kyle Shanahan is a mastermind with kind of getting guys hidden in routes, misdirection, making it hard. As a linebacker, when you're reading your keys, what makes a Kyle Shanahan offense so difficult to defend?
Well, it's a lot of window dressing, and it's a lot of sleight of hand. But the offense has been on tape, and all you have to do is focus on your job. When, they love to get someone detached, eye control somewhere it doesn't need to be. Focus on your job. And at the end of the day, when you do that, it's just beat the guy in front of you. So they turned McCaffrey loose a couple of times, but a lot of it was they just got beat. They got beat.
And you mentioned focus on your job. Sean and I talked about this in the first segment of the show, but I mean, with so many new faces, so many injuries on defense, yes, there's some guys stepping in and the communication. Is part of it too the trust factor of saying, okay, I got to do my job, but I know somebody back there might be new. Do I trust them to do theirs?
Madeline, they had backups too.
Yeah.
They had backups, and their guys were all on the same page. And there's a trust factor, but as professional athletes, when you're in a position where it's important, that everybody's on the same page in order to find ways to win ball games. The easiest way to lose ball games is lack of communication and not everyone being on the same page. So it's unfortunate. It is what we saw. It is what you saw at home, and there's not much explaining you can do about it other than they just have to figure out a way to get better. Offense continues to fight. They've got to be able to complement each other, though.
Got to complement each other. 34-24 is the final score. For another perspective on this one, let's send it down to the field where Paul Dottino and Brandon London are standing by for more.
Well, let's start with the Giants' no-huddle offense to start the game. For the fourth time in Jackson Dart's 6 career starts, the Giants went right down and scored a touchdown, but after that, on their next 5 possessions, only 34 total yards and 1 first down. So what changes on the offense and what changes on the defense after that first drive?
I'll start with the defense, and I don't think they did anything differently, Paul. I just think that they did it better. They stayed in that too-high shell, kept everything in front of them to eliminate the big play, and forced the Giants to try and drive down the football field. Anytime you get into a double-digit plays when it comes to a possession, bad things happen. You get drops, offsides, penalties, that sort of thing. But on the offensive side, what they did was they took Jackson Dart's superpower away from him, and that was his ability to make plays using his feet. He's done a great job with improvisation, but he wasn't able to do that today against this too-high look for the 49ers.
And you'd like to think the emotion of that first touchdown would carry over. It just did not. Okay, at the end of the half, the Giants miss a 45-yard field goal from Graham Gano wide to the left. They go into the locker room at 17-7. As a player, how costly is that deflation?
Well, you saw Brian Burns when the kick was missed. He's the one that created the turnover with the strip for the interception. It's very deflating because if you look at it, towards the end of the game, the Giants, instead of trying to stop a 49ers offense and hold them to get the ball back down 1 possession, they were down 2 possessions. So you wanted to create some sort of momentum, and that was the moment. Unfortunately, they couldn't get that 3 points there to make it a ball game.
And the Niners get the ball to start the third quarter. Finally, let's end on a positive note. Hyatt and Gunnar Olszewski changed roles today. Hyatt became a kickoff returner, Olszewski became a receiver, and Gunnar catches a touchdown.
Yeah, they gave Hyatt a chance to put his skill set on tape, and that's his speed. And when it comes to Gunnar, he's been doing all the right things since he got here last year. It was glad to see him get into the end zone, and maybe they start looking at him a little bit more at receiver. It's all about audition time now, Paul.
Well, everybody's got to put their best foot forward. Let's go back upstairs to you guys.
Thanks so much, Paul Dottino, Brandon London, for the insight. Just a reminder, guests of our post-game show receive a gift certificate to Ben and Jack's on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben and Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. We've got more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Giants legacy game in the books.
Look closely at this truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, lease a Ford F-150 for $349 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford stores.
When you donate to Tackle Kids Cancer at Hackensack Meridian Health, you're not just making a big difference, you're making a giant difference. That's why we're making a giant deal out of it.
It needs to be bigger, right?
100% of donations go to patients and their families.
Give this a spin.
Helping kids be kids. And no cause
Go deep.
is more giant than that.
Looking good.
Join me and Scan to tackle kids cancer today.
It was bigger on the package.
Get more of what you want this season during the Kia Fall Savings Event. Like more off-road adventure with the Sorrento. Or Telluride. Or more fun zipping around in the Seltos. Or Nero Hybrid. And new Kia vehicles come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, so you can get more out of every year. During Kia's Fall Savings Event, lease a new 2025 Telluride S front-wheel drive for $379 a month.
You rip and tear your old statements and bills, but thieves use this information to steal your identity. Don't be a victim. Get the ID Police, the new ink roller that encrypts all your old documents. So before you throw it out, just roll it on, and your information is gone, both on the front and through the back. Even if the paper is held up to the light, even your medical information is safe with the ID Police. So block it out before you throw it out. Order now and get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 and get free shipping too. This offer is not available on Amazon, so call or click now to get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 with free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-208-9719. That's 1-800-208-9719 or visit idpolice.com. So call 1-800-208-9719 now.
Giants fans, it's Moody's. Decode risk, unlock opportunity. Learn more at moodys.com. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Madeline Burke and the Super Bowl champion Sean O'Hara here hanging out on the set as the Giants fell to the visiting 49ers 34-24, Week 9, falling to 2-7 on the season. A tough one for this Giants team. We saw them score on the opening drive, and then we saw some late-game offensive fireworks. What did you like of what you saw in that fourth quarter?
You know, Madeline, we saw a lot of missteps early on. We talked about the opening drive touchdown, and then the offense kind of took a nap. They disappeared, and there were some self-inflicted wounds. We had back-to-back false start penalties. Obviously, Marcus Mbow filling in a right tackle for Jermaine Illuminor. I thought he actually played really well. I thought he held up. He had one bad play where he gave up a sack. Looked like his leg kind of buckled. But I'll tell you, the one thing, if you're walking out of the stadium right now as a Giants fan, Jackson Dart is fun to watch. You know, he's their leading rusher. That's not how you want it. You don't want your quarterback as your leading rusher. But even at the end of this game, the Giants scored 2 touchdowns at the end, and it was because Jackson Dart was willing them into the end zone. It was quarterback design runs, it was scrambles, he was making throws, he was making plays, and even threw a touchdown to Gunnar Olszewski, as Paulie Dots just talked about. And you see the life that he brings to this offense. So that's something that is encouraging. But you know, I think every Giants fan's walking out of here disappointed, because this was a game against a 49ers team that was so depleted by injuries, and you had a chance for a big win at home. A team that's traveling from California, different time change. The daylight savings time.
Yeah,
it was all right there.
It was all right there. It was a tough loss for this Giants team. 34-24 is the final score. Let's send it down to the podium where head coach Brian Daboll is addressing the media now.
All right, what do you got, guys?
What do you see when you're with your defense right now? I mean, that's 3 straight games with 30-plus points.
Yeah, and look, they ran it. I wouldn't say they had a ton of explosives, but when they ran it, they were pretty productive running the football. The longest one I think was that last one on 18 yards or whatever, but 4, 5, 6, average 4.1. 40 carries. We got to do a better job in that area. I don't think it's a secret. And we gave up, team game, but certainly got to do better.
So how damaging was that last sequence in the first half? You get the turnover there and don't turn it in anything.
Yeah, that was a great play by Burns and Abdul, and didn't come away with points. That was a, I wouldn't say breaker, but I mean, you love to have points down there. Didn't get done.
Brian, are those tears of emotion, or is that just
Who's?
you?
Is that what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you're saying.
You walked in here, it looked like there were tears coming out of your eyes.
No.
Not just allergies?
No. No, it wasn't tears.
Coach, I know you have to watch the film, but from your eye looking at the sideline, what do you think of the tackling, particularly in the secondary today?
Yeah, look, nothing was good enough. Guys battled, but ultimately not good enough.
Not a lot. You got to fix it. It's not good enough. What are you going to do? How are you going to fix this? How are you going to make it better?
Yeah, we got to keep working on our tackling. Thought we eliminated some explosive plays, which was good, but 4 or 5 in the red zone is tough, Dan, and 3 of those were on third down. We got picked on the one with McCaffrey on the way back through there. You just got to keep working at it, making sure you're on top of it, and whether it's finishing catches, finishing tackles, whatever it may be, we got to do it. We got to continue to work on it, coach it better, and then ultimately do it on game day.
Brian, defensively, when things aren't getting better, whether it's the 30-plus and the 3 straight, the tackling's still an issue. Is there a disconnect between what you guys are trying to teach and what's being received by the players?
Well, we didn't get the results, Connor. So, again, our guys are working stuff we work on each week, but it's not getting done.
How much did you see the effort wane there at the end?
I just thought they ran hard. B-Rob had that one hard run. You guys were battling. Again, 4 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, whatever it may be, in the run game. 40 carries, I think, 39 carries, 100 and some yards, 4.1. Wanted to eliminate explosives from McCaffrey, both in the run and the pass game. I thought Mac threw on rhythm, was pretty good in getting the ball, distributing the ball. We missed a couple things that we had opportunities on third down offensively to keep drives going.
On the McCaffrey touchdown, you said they got picked. Is that one where you guys are supposed to switch, or you stay with them?
Yeah, we got picked. Yeah, they had a nice play design against what we were playing, and they ran across from the opposite side, and linebacker got picked, and give him credit. It was a good play design.
What was the thought process on kicking the field goal when you're 4th and goal to 3 down?
4th and 4.
4th and 3, but okay.
Yeah. So that was if it was a certain distance, we would have went for it. Made it a 10-point game, I believe. That's the reason why.
Overall, what did you think of Jackson Dart's performance today, the diving touchdown at the end, just his progression overall?
I think he battles. Kid gives everything he has, competes 60 minutes, makes good decisions. We got to do a good job of finishing plays around him too. But he's, he battles, and I'm proud of him.
How is he physically, Brian? Because he looked, there was cameras that picked him up. He looked pretty beat up after the game with Jackson.
You'd have to ask Jackson. I just saw him coming in. He said he's good. He's not good, though. He's a competitor. So when we get these results, it should frustrate you. It should have you, lack of better terms, not happy.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Why not take him out in the final couple of minutes of these games? Because he's ultra competitive. He's going to put his shoulder into guys, and he's that important to your team.
Yeah, well, I was 34 to 24. We had 3 timeouts left. Went for the onside. If we would have held him there, get the ball back with, say, 50 seconds. So we're gonna try to play to the end there, Pat. That's what we're gonna do.
Daves, I think last year you had talked about how important it was to get quarterback play, and it's a level of quarterback play that you're getting from Jackson. Does this feel like a missed opportunity for this team to not get overall play from all phases when you're getting the play that you're getting from Jackson?
Yeah, look, we can all do a better job, but I'd say that he's, steadily improved, continues to make plays, continues to battle, compete, give guys opportunities to make plays, and that's what we got to do.
4 out of the 6 games that he's played, you guys have scored a touchdown on the opening drive. What are you seeing in that opening drive that's giving you guys such success?
Good execution.
Consider a change in defensive play calling to see if maybe a different voice can spark something?
Yeah, look, none of us did a good enough job. That starts with me, Connor, so we'll continue to work at it.
You mentioned before about Jackson. He said it should frustrate you. You should be upset by that, and he clearly shows that.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that across the board with your team? I mean, some of these guys...
Jackson's the leader of our football team. I know he's a rookie, and that's a hard thing to do as a rookie. And the way he competes, people need to feed off of that. Again, there's plenty of plays out there that we had opportunities to do, and just didn't get the job done.
Brian, ownership said after last year, they expected better results next year, otherwise things would be different. This year, how much does 2-7 concern you?
Yeah, we got to continue to improve here. Again, there's some things that I think are improving, and there's some things that are not. Yeah, to be 2-7.
It's the end result, right? I mean, how much does that concern you?
Yeah, look, we're not where we need to be.
Did you get enough from Dexter Lawrence today? He had obviously a week in the headlines, Carl Banks saying that he needed to show more.
Yeah, I'd say, Pat, we're going to sit back, take a look at it immediately after the game. Look, the guys battled. We didn't get it done.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That sound from head coach Brian Daboll is brought to you by Ford, the official vehicle of the New York Football Giants. Lots of topics covered there in Daboll's media availability, Sean, but one of them that stuck out is third down. The Giants offense has struggled in third down, 5 of 12 on the day today. What do you need to see from this offense to be able to convert in those situations?
Well, look, third down is a big part of the game. That situation offensively is what gives you momentum. It's what keeps you on the field. It's what keeps you running the football. When you're converting things and the defense gets tired, they were 1 for 6 on third down in the first half alone. Not good enough. And I talked already about it. They kind of fell asleep. They took a nap after that opening drive touchdown. And one of the best ways to be successful on third down is to don't suck on first down. Like, if you do a good job on first down, now you're in third and short. But how many times did we see a negative run or a go screen that loses 2 or 3 yards on first down, and now you're in second and long? So this offense is not good enough right now to overcome 2nd and 14 every possession and, multiple times. Every once in a while, you can overcome that. But this offense needs to have first down production in order to stay on the field. They're not... Without Malik Neighbors, they don't have that explosive playmaker guy that's just going to run by a defense. So you're not getting the big chunk plays. I thought Devin Singletary ran really hard in this game, but the offense is going to be 12, 13, 14 play drives. And then conversely, defensively, they've got to do better in the red zone. Like Daboll touched on it. They were 4 for 5. The 49ers offense were in the red zone. When you get down there, that's when you've got to be playing your best football. And 2 weeks in a row now, we had a running back running wide open in the red zone. Nobody even knows that he's running out on a pass route because nobody's even trying to rush over there. So those are things that there's no excuse for. They've got to be better in the red zone. If you could force teams to kick field goals, now you keep yourself in the game.
Absolutely. And another thing we heard Daboll saying, Jackson Dart, tough kid, gritty, kept fighting. We're going to hear from him as the show rolls on. But first, I want to remind you guys, keep with us here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Quarterback at the podium next.
You get power. Your attention, please. I steal the show. And now you know I'm gonna keep on dancing, so you can keep on glancing. It ain't my fault that I was made this way.
aren't paying attention to breasts when it matters the most. Early detection for breast cancer is a game changer, and why I'm able to be here today. So let's get more women screened than ever before. Go to yourattentionplease.com and take the first step.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models.
Any further thoughts?
I think I need to do more with my money. Should I still be renting?
I live with my mom.
How much should I save for my kids' tuition?
What kids?
How early is early retirement? How much is in your 401k?
All my money's in checking.
What does the K stand for?
Ben, what's on your mind?
Could I be doing more with my money?
Let's look at where you're at and talk new goals.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
Safety tip for walking at night: never walk alone. Be aware of your surroundings. Also, vote for Diana Florence for district attorney. She's the only person I trust for a safer Manhattan.
Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York. Diana Florence knows how to keep our communities safe. On November 4th, vote for the independent Democrat that will protect us, not criminals. Elect Diana Florence, Manhattan District Attorney. Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
They give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti.
well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everybody's still out here fighting for something. So, you know, you got to keep your head on straight and just keep coming into work each and every week, and good shit's going to happen eventually.
How do you think Jackson's handling this?
I mean, he doesn't take losing lightly, and I love him for that. Obviously, you don't want a quarterback that's just okay with losing, and he wants to do everything that he can to get this thing back on track.
When you say he doesn't take losing lightly, other than not looking happy, how does that manifest itself?
I mean, you can just hear the way he talks after games and the way he wants it so bad. You know, I mean, just whenever you see him and you talk to him after a game and after a loss, you know that he doesn't like losing.
That's Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson as we take a look at his numbers from Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. 9 receptions, 46 yards on 11 targets. Wan'Dale Robinson, welcome back to the show. Giants Postgame Live brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Madeline Burke and Sean O'Hara recapping this one. 34-24 is the final in favor of the Niners. Sean, one thing that Wan'Dale talked about is how much Jackson Dart doesn't like to lose. We saw Dart at the podium last week after his game. We heard Daboll talking about that too, how the young rookie quarterback has already stepped into a leadership position. How much do you like seeing that from him, and how would you handle, helping him navigate that?
It's a quality you have to have.
Yeah.
And you have a franchise quarterback when you've got a guy that's not going to settle. And look, he's elevating everybody else, and the accountability factor is real with Jackson Dart. He doesn't like moral victories. He won't talk about stats and, hey, we did this well. No, we didn't get the win. We lost. It's not good enough. So I like that it's kind of contagious, and Wan'Dale feels it, and he knows it. But I think he and Wan'Dale have got a good relationship, too.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart's looking for Wan'Dale. On third down, he's looking for his boy, and I think they've got a good rapport. He's got confidence that Wan'Dale is going to be where he needs to be when he does call on him and when he throws in the football. So, look, Wan'Dale, he's fighting his butt off, and he's a competitor as well. I think as a receiver, as an offensive lineman, you love having a guy like that at quarterback. You love having a guy that's got that grit, that comes into the huddle and has this no-quit attitude. That's what you need. And, look, it's tough right now. Things aren't going their way. But if you keep fighting, eventually things will start to turn around.
Absolutely. You mentioned the trust Jackson has in Wan'Dale. He was the Giants receiver with the most targets, 11 targets on the day, as Jackson Dart clearly looking his way quite a few times. A lot of changes, especially since Dart's bestie, Cam Skattebo, out for the season. We're wishing him a healthy recovery. But the run game kept going. One of the guys that made up for the loss of Skattebo today, Devin Singletary, is speaking in the locker room now. Let's send it down.
Devin, for the fourth time since Dart became a starting quarterback in the 6 games, you guys took the opening drive down the field for a touchdown, and it looked like it was going to be a great day offensively, but things that went south. Can you identify a common thread as to why that happened?
Yeah, it was just, it came down to execution. It was just shooting ourselves in the foot, and that's really what it came down to, mistakes. It was mistakes that we couldn't have. That's what it came down to.
A lot of times people will talk about the tempo and the no huddle, and you guys seem to really be effective most of the time when you do that. But what are the challenges in trying to do that more often than just periodically?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you're going fast sometimes and then you get a 3 and out, and it just seemed like in the blink of an eye what happened. And so momentum, and that comes again with execution. Execution fuels energy. So I think that's the biggest thing.
We've talked about Jackson Dart and his heart, his excitement, his enthusiasm as your guys' leader. Could you sense the fact that he continued to fight for the 4 quarters and kept trying to get you guys back in it?
He a dog. He never gonna give in. He never gonna give up. He definitely fought to the end.
Right. Final question. When you look at this team and you understand that you guys have taken a bunch of gut punches, how in the world do you keep things together?
Yeah, you know, that's the name of the game. You got to. We got a lot of great guys in the building. It's a good brotherhood around here. So, you know, when things get tough, you got to be tougher.
Devin, always appreciate your time.
Definitely.
Thank you.
When things get tough, you've got to be tougher. That's Devin Singletary, Giants running back. As we take a look at his numbers, 43 yards on 8 rushing attempts, an average of 5.4 per carry, and a 14-yard long as the Giants fall to the San Francisco 49ers 34-24. We've got more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Sexy Dexy after the break.
It's the dream we all share, to be anything and go anywhere. So if you need room for your family, your gear, side hustle, or anything else, get the SUV designed for your dream. The Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, returning lessees can lease a Ford Explorer for $309 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford stores.
When you make your dip super creamy with almonds, your new boyfriend can know nothing about football.
Oh, he touched it down.
Bro, that's the other team. And still fit in just fine.
Have you tried the dip?
Oh, great fumble. Great fumble?
That's a Hail Mayo.
Get more of what you want this season during the Kia Fall Savings Event. Like more off-road adventure with the Sorrento. Or Telluride. Or more fun zipping around in the Seltos. Or Nero Hybrid. And new Kia vehicles come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, so you can get more out of every year. During Kia's Fall Savings Event, get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus $1,000 retail bonus cash on select 2025 Sorrento models.
We're gonna have some fun. We get what we can now and take the rest later. We play the long game.
This is gonna be a war like we never seen before.
Have a bet against me.
Can't you see you're outnumbered?
Ain't nothing we can't handle. So let the best man win.
Who gon' stop me now?
When you make your dip super creamy with almonds, your new boyfriend can know nothing about football.
Oh, he touched it down.
Bro, that's the other team. And still fit in just fine.
Have you tried the dip?
Oh, great fumble. Great fumble?
That's a Hail Mayo.
Man,
You might know about the DirecTV Perks loyalty program, but do you know it's free and easy to join? Just visit directv.com/perks. You'll earn all the rewards you'd ever want. It's easy. Earn discounts, gift cards, movie rentals, and much more. It's our way of thanking loyal customers like you. So don't wait. Join now for free at directv.com/perks and earn the show-stopping perks you deserve. Only from DirecTV.
The youngest MLS debutant, Kavon Sullivan.
Luna.
Yes! That is a banger! Spectacular save from Dane St. Clair.
defense for the last 2 games and change. You played great for almost the whole Denver game, then obviously the end of that game, and then these past 2 games have not. So what has happened?
We got to watch the tape. I can't really pinpoint anything at this moment, but you know, you got to break down the film. You got to be critical of yourself. For me personally, I got to figure out where I can get better and how I could continue to help the team and go from there.
We talk a lot about execution. Were you okay with some of the effort you saw out there at the end of the second half on the defensive side?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. When I'm out there, I can't really, I'm not looking at other players to see what effort they're giving. I'm just trying to make sure I give my all. So, to me, I'm always trying to be a thumb guy and point the finger at myself. So if there's more I can give and it shows that on tape, then it's got to be done.
It's 2 games in a row that down the stretch, teams just kind of ran it and scored and, kind of bled the game away that way. What did you see there, maybe last week and this week?
Defense got to be better. Front 7 got to be better. Back 7 got to be better. We got to be stout, in the run game to even have a chance to rush the passer.
Big picture.
It's Giants linebacker Kavon Thibodeaux. Welcome back to the show. Giants Postgame Live brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Madeline Burke and Sean O'Hara recapping this one. 34-24 is the final score as the Giants fall to the visiting 49ers in Week 9. When you hear what Kavon's saying, obviously you're out there, instead of pointing fingers, you're pointing thumbs, thinking about how much you can do better as an individual. What do you make of his reactions there?
Yeah, I thought Chip just put on a clinic right there. Don't take the bait. Like, he talked about himself, and that's what you want to see. Look, he's a veteran leader on this defense. Look, not a huge production day for him, but look, the effort was there. It's just the execution. And I think every player, whenever you're on a situation like this, all right, you're 2-17, people are coming for you. They're looking for a way to fragment the locker room and to get you to start blaming other people. And he took it on the chin. No, I got to get better. All right, I'm focused on myself. I got to make sure that I'm part of the solution and not part of the problem. So I thought he handled all that really well. Look, this defensive line, I think that they expect more of themselves. I think they expected to have more of an impact in this game.
Right.
Especially when you look at what the 49ers, they've really struggled up front with their offensive line. So I think they were hoping to have a bigger production day. But, they are going to handle this like I think they will. Brian Burns is a great leader. I know Dexter, Thibodeaux, even Abdul Carter, they've got a good nucleus in there, and they've got a heck of a defensive line coach. Dre Patterson, their D-line coach, he will not let these guys fragment. He will not let them point fingers. They're going to regroup and find a way to get it right.
Right, some big plays on the day, a couple sacks from this Giants defense, including one from Brian Burns. He's now got 11 on the season. His career high on a season is 12.5 on a full season, but we're only 9 weeks in. He's at 11 right now, and some pivotal plays right there, but it wasn't enough as the Giants fall to the Niners. 34-24. Let's send it down to hear from another member of this Giants defense. Dexter Lawrence is speaking to the media.
I don't think there was any lack of effort. I think everybody played hard. We just didn't make the plays.
Dexter, 2-7. Obviously, as you know, you guys started 2-13 last year, 2-8 the year before. You've been here for some 2-ends, before that. How sick are you? Just not even being in it.
Winning is everything. And right now we sitting at 2-7. We got to come back next week and win.
How would you assess your individual performance, Dex?
I think I was getting a lot of knockback, a lot of push, seeing a lot of doubles, same stuff. I think I'm playing well, but you got to make the plays. You got to make more plays.
Sorry for finessing similar to this, but at one point in the fourth quarter when they had a big lead, they were averaging almost 6 yards of play. What do you think about that, just from a defensive standpoint?
We didn't make the plays that came to us.
Dex.
Do you have any desire to play anywhere else?
I don't.
How can you help lead a turnaround here?
Just keep leading. Eventually the wall will break, and that's just what I got to do as a leader.
When you have 3 straight games where the defense allows over 30, there's a lot of pride within this room, and right now it doesn't seem like anything's getting better. So how do you turn it around? Where does the change come from?
I think everyone as an individual has to look at themselves and see what if they're executing, if they're in the right spots, if they're doing the right thing, if they're studying longer, if they're making the plays that come to them. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's Dexter Lawrence. For Giants fans, download the all-new Giants mobile app for breaking news and exclusive videos, updated with a brand new layout, plus the Giants short stories feed and the Pocket Game Day Ticket Holders Hub. Download it for free at the App Store or Google Play. After the break, we got more to come, including Jackson Dart, but it was a legacy game. Look at Phil Simms out on the field.
Oh.
Get some vintage, even a Phil Simms bobblehead for
Gotta get
Giants
one of
legacy
those.
game.
Any free thoughts?
I think I need to do more with my money. Should I still be renting?
I live with my mom.
How much should I save for my kids' tuition?
What kids?
How early is early retirement? How much is in your 401k?
All my money's in checking.
What does the K stand for?
Ben, what's on your mind?
Could I be doing more with my money?
Let's look at where you're at and talk new goals.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
Current lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get this exclusive lease offer on this 2025 Cadillac Optic. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
When you donate to Tackle Kids Cancer at Hackensack Meridian Health, you're not just making a big difference, you're making a giant difference. That's why we're making a giant deal out of it.
It needs to be bigger, right?
100% of donations go to patients and their families.
Give this a spin.
Helping kids be kids. And no cause
Go deep.
is more giant than that.
Looking good.
Join me and Scan to tackle kids cancer today.
It was bigger on the package.
And now, your NFL Airmen led by Omaha! They change course.
Peyton Manning?
They're going for the beer! Whoa! Touchdown!
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
I shouldn't have called that audible. Thanks. What?
Style or substance. Somehow it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or current eligible GMC lessees can get this low mileage lease on this Sierra Elevation for around $299 per month. We are professional grade.
Here we are in New York City. If you're a repeat criminal, this place is perfect for you. This gem of a home is in the heart of Alvin Bragg's Manhattan. There's lots of storage for all your shoplifted items, tall windows to look down on your next victims, and a doorman to welcome you back every time you're released from jail, thanks to the city's softest DA in history. There's never been a more hospitable city for criminals.
Elect Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney, paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
Well, next week, the Giants are back on the road, taking their talents to the Windy City. Giants at Bears Sunday, November 9th, a 1 o'clock p.m. kickoff. The Bears are coming off of a Week 9 game in which they beat the Bengals 47-42, a high-scoring game. But when you look at this one, Sean, the thing that stands out to me is the Bears had 283 yards rushing. They've been getting that run game going, even with injuries at the position.
Yeah, Kyle Monungai, the Rutgers Scarlet Knight, had a monster game, 176 yards on the ground. But it was Caleb Williams threw 3 touchdowns and even caught a touchdown pass from DJ Moore. So a lot to unpack for this Giants defense that's given up 105 points in the last 3 games. So there you see Caleb Williams right there, receiving touchdown with the asterisk right there. 2 rushing touchdowns on the season to go along with the 12 touchdowns that he's thrown. Caleb Williams is one of those quarterbacks that likes to make plays outside the pocket. He likes to extend plays, so that really strains the defense, challenges you in coverage. Obviously, with Rome Odunze and DJ Moore on the outside, they've got some really big playmaking receivers. I think the fact that they just scored 47 points in Cincinnati I think that's a little bit of a surprise to the entire NFL world. But this Chicago Bears offense is clicking now with Ben Johnson, first-time head coach. They went through some struggles early on in the season, but now it looks like their offense is really clicking.
Right, absolutely. And, Caleb Williams getting in there, throwing for 280 yards passing. Tyson Bagent, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, several players throwing the ball. The Bears offense getting creative in this one. It's going to be a challenge for this Giants defense. And as you mentioned, 47 points being able to put up and score in volume like that.
Yeah, it doesn't get easy in the NFL. There is no easy week. But I think when you go on the road, the Giants offense has done a good job on the road, scoring early and kind of getting ahead of the game and letting the defense play with a little bit of a lead. So you've got to do that again. Soldier Field, obviously a historic place to play. It's going to be on grass. I know that game day vibe is going to be, it's going to be bumping. So obviously offensively, you've got the silent count. You've got to find a way to run the football. If you've got a team right now where the Bears offense is clicking, you've got to keep them on ice, keep them off the field. You've got to do a better job on first down like I talked about. And on the road, that is paramount if you want to convert on third downs.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a little chilly and a little windy out there in the Windy City in
It
Chicago.
is.
But you know what? The elements it's what football weather is all about. All right, we got more to come after the break. Quarterback Jackson Dart talking a little Week 9. Giants Postgame Live brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Returns after this.
Look closely at this truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, lease a Ford F-150 for $349 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford stores.
Said if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You gotta know when to hold 'em. Pull 'em already.
Know when to fold 'em.
Know when to walk away.
Travel.
Know when to run. Run!
He's automatic from the 40.
You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
The Kia K4 and K5 represent what comes next. The next movement for innovation. And the next movement for acceleration. The Kia K4 and K5. During Kia's fall savings event, get 0.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 K5.
Welcome to New York, where shoplifters walk free and toothpaste is behind bars. Squeeze out Alvin Bragg. Vote for a DA who'll lock up criminals, not toothpaste. Vote Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney.
Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York. Walking your dog at night should clear your head, not make your heart race. You both deserve a safer Manhattan. Elect Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney. Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
So I was on my way home from a basketball game, and I started to feel a very sharp pain in my back and down my legs. And it was excruciating. And there were numerous tumors pinching all the nerves in my spinal canal.
I knew that he had a very, very active lifestyle. After minimally invasive spine surgery, I was very optimistic that we would be able to get him there.
To be able to walk again without pain after 36 hours, magnificent.
Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Hope you all had a happy and safe Halloween. I know Charlie Manning did. Eli's son said he wanted to dress up as his favorite Giants quarterback ever for Halloween. Got his wish, dressing up as Jackson Dart with the chain and everything.
Yeah. He got his wish, and he got that chain on.
Not choosing to dress up as his dad, two-time Super Bowl champion Eli Manning, but choosing Jackson Dart. That's got to be humbling for Eli.
I think it probably stung a little bit for Eli. But, look, Jackson's got more drip. Like, I can't blame Charlie. Charlie likes to see a mobile quarterback. Eli couldn't move, can't run. So I think it was a no-brainer.
Plus, Charlie liked the chain. I mean, Eli was saying he wanted to wear that chain all week, and they're like, no, we got to wait till Halloween. But you know what?
Jackson saw the outfit, and he loved the chain.
Loved the chain.
He loved it.
I know it's got to sting a little bit for Eli that his son chose a different quarterback, but I do know that somebody close to him did dress up as Eli Manning this Halloween, and I think we've got a photo. Oh, look at this. Sean O'Manning. What a costume, Sean.
That right there, my arms have never been that skinny. Look at those. Is that a string hanging out of the jersey, or is that his arm? I can't. Like that right there, I feel like that's Bizarro World. But wow, you guys got way too much time on your hands.
You know, this is called joy and creativity, Sean. That's the kind of costume that gets you a full-size candy bar trick-or-treating in the house.
That's my Halloween costume for next year. Yeah, I like that one.
Did you and the family dress up this year?
Yeah, we did. Actually, my son went in Scatterboo.
Oh, wow.
So he was Cam Scatterboo, and when Cam got hurt, he was like, what do I do? Should I wear a walking boot to kind of sympathize with him? So, it was great. We had Scatterboo and Dart. Jack and Charlie were rolling around together, and it was great. They're best friends. Scatterboo and Dart, they're together.
4 and 6 in the trap. You know, we saw quite a few kids on social media dressing up as Scatterboo and Dart for Halloween.
I think it was the #1 costume.
It was, and the fact that, you know, in their rookie seasons already, they're making such an impact on the Giants fan base, on the area, and on the young generation that's so excited to watch them and dress up as them for Halloween. What does that mean about the culture of this
love
team?
it. Like the generational fans here that are coming to the games to watch guys like Scatterboo and Jackson Dart. It's something that, you know, look, that's something that has been missing, you know, and I think they love the energy that they bring. They love the style. They've got a little pizzazz. They've got this intensity to them. And look, they miss Scatterboo out there. Like not having him today, you could definitely tell there was a little bit missing with the physical pounding run game. But I think for Giants fans, knowing that those two guys are going to be your cornerstones on offense along with Malik Neighbors, that's a big.
Yeah, well, it's sort of one of the headliners of the Halloween costume circuit. Jackson Dart, the quarterback, is at the podium now.
Jackson, first off, how you feeling physically? You took some pretty big shots today.
Yeah, definitely took a few hits, but I made it out good.
Jackson, you guys in 6 starts, 4 opening drives, you scored touchdowns. What is it that you're not able to execute later on in the game to have that same success?
That's a tough question. We just had like penalties on situations that really hurt, where it's a very manageable first down. I think that we were great on 1st and 2nd down, so we got into a lot of 3rd and longs, and in this league it's really hard. I mean, they did a really good job of just keeping everything in front of them, and there just wasn't a ton of opportunities to get behind them, just kind of how they're playing coverage, and that's kind of just their motto. They want to see if a team can continually stay positive to drive down the whole field and not give up big plays. So when you get into 3rd and long situations, it makes it really hard.
When you beat Philadelphia, you and Cam were kind of like, you don't want to be lumped in with the losing of the past, right? Is there anything you see that is sort of carried over? Like, obviously you're separate, right? You weren't part of that, but is there anything you see that kind of when things go bad, maybe you're not able to get it back moving in the right direction here?
I mean, that's a hard question too. The biggest thing is, I just think that we got to be able to not just let things collapse a little bit. Good plays are going to happen for the other team. That's just the league that we play in. And we can't let one lead to another. And I think that's just something that we need to get better at. Like, we have to have the intensity, the focus as a whole team to, weather the adversity storms and, always just keep the belief that we're going to win. I think at times, we just let, a few things lead to another instead of just, shutting it down one play at a time.
How much is that belief getting tested?
That sound from Giants quarterback Jackson Dart is brought to you by Ford, the official vehicle of the New York Football Giants. Sean, we hear kind of the defeated nature in his voice. How do you kind of maintain that fervor week in and week out when you can hear how kind of down he's getting with the loss?
Yeah, he seems frustrated, and I get that. And then he also knows that there's nothing he could say right now that's going to fix everything.
Yeah.
You've got to go back to work. You've got to clean things up. You can't beat yourselves in the NFL.
Back to work, clean it up. Another game on the horizon next week at Chicago, but that's a wrap for this week. For the Super Bowl champ Sean O'Hara, I'm Madeline Burke. Thanks for watching Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. We're back every week after Giants right here on Giants.com, MSG Networks, and the Giants YouTube channel. We'll see you next week.
Here we are in New York City. If you're a repeat criminal, this place is perfect for you. This gem of a home is in the heart of Alvin Bragg's Manhattan. There's lots of storage for all your shoplifted items, tall windows to look down on your next victims, and a doorman to welcome you back every time you're released from jail, thanks to the city's softest DA in history. There's never been a more hospitable city for criminals.
Elect Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney, paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York. Diana Florence knows how to keep our communities safe. On November 4th, vote for the independent Democrat that will protect us, not criminals. Elect Diana Florence, Manhattan District Attorney, paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
Quick subway tip, make sure when you're on the platform you're standing with your back to the wall so you can see everything in front of you. Most importantly, vote for Diana Florence for District Attorney. She's the only person I feel makes Manhattan safer.
Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
Safety tip for walking at night, never walk alone, be aware of your surroundings. Also, vote for Diana Florence for District Attorney. She's the only person I trust for a safer Manhattan.
Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York. Alvin Bragg's Manhattan isn't where we want our kids growing up. Vote for a safer Manhattan. Vote Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney. Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York. A dog doesn't understand why you're scared to go out. When crime rises, everyone pays the price. Even them. Elect Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney. Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
Welcome to New York, where shoplifters walk free and toothpaste is behind bars. Squeeze out Alvin Bragg. Vote for a DA who'll lock up criminals, not toothpaste. Vote Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney.
Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York. Walking your dog at night should clear your head, not make your heart race. You both deserve a safer Manhattan. Elect Diana Florence for Manhattan District Attorney. Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York. Diana Florence knows how to keep our communities safe. On November 4th, vote for the independent Democrat that will protect us, not criminals. Elect Diana Florence, Manhattan District Attorney. Paid for by the Coalition to Restore New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garden Party, the world's most famous podcast.
When I say New York in the 1990s, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, I can remember when I first came to New York, and I'm coming from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and seeing these big old buildings and what have you, and all I could do was think about Times Square and what you saw during the New Year's and what have you, and I come down to Times Square. And I'm like, wow. You think of this big old beautiful place. It was like real grimy down there during that time, that area. And so it was a rude awakening for me because, coming to New York, all you thought about is now I get a chance to play on the world's biggest stage. And, it was special. It was special. But the city itself was totally different than it is now. A lot better now.
It was gritty in the 90s, right? It was like, I grew up in New York, so it was like, the feeling of analog in the 90s versus like what you think about today. It's like everywhere and everybody's been exposed at this point. Just readily having that available, seeing things on social media, but like like John just said, coming to New York and seeing, you know, Times Square for the first time, just that feeling of New York City back then, before the internet. It was pre-internet time. Just a different time, because you know, it was, New York was put on a pedestal, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like, I got to New York in the late 80s, and like you guys are saying, it was just really gritty, really grimy. The city was still kind of, you know, coming out of, you know, the real rough times in the 70s. And, you know, for me, it's like, when you say New York in the 90s, it's like, that's when I got there. So it's like you're saying, John, that's New York. And for me, it was like, that I started at Madison Square Garden. I took the audition to play the organ there in 1989. And so like the 90s just unfolded in front of me, watching you guys play, watching, you know, the team come together a couple of different times, and, you know, watching the city come together around the Knicks was just an amazing experience.
You guys talking about how gritty it was and how the attitude is here. I think that's one of the reasons I fit in so well with the team. You know, I think same thing with John. We kind of both have that same personality. So for me, I just felt like I was at home. It was just a matter of getting familiar with the guys on the team and coaching staff and the different system of how I played in Golden State, because playing under Nelly, we were up and down, and we just, you know, he didn't really care about defense.
Right.
It's all about defense.
Like it is today.
The people hold you to that standard in New York, right? It's
exactly.
It's like, you think about the mentality of what makes a great Knick a great Knick is like, you know, knowing that you got to put your heart on the court. You know what I'm saying? That's what made you two so special. You know, early on, you know, John was my favorite player because he was very relatable to the people, you know, and your game and what transpired on the court, it really inspired people and the kids, because I was a kid back then. I was like, you know, 13, 14, watching you play. Like, you made us believe that we can be that, because you came to the league undrafted, and how you ended up on the team. It was an incredible story, and people, you know, people loved that story. And this is before those stories are readily available on Google. Like, you know, we were reading about it because we were curious about you. You know what I'm saying? Between you, Mason, Ewing, like, that was the heart and soul of the city, because we really felt like you guys were like putting everything out on the court every night. You know, and that's what resembles the city. It's like, that's what the people hold you to that standard. And even till today, you know, a lot of things change, but some of the things stay the same. You can't fool the New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna try to give, you know, 50 to 60% on the court, you know, you're going to hear it. I always feel like it's like the people who vote in the players and the coaches on the Knicks, because if the fans or the New Yorkers don't like what they see, it's like they'll turn the world upside down until they get it right. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that you say that too, because like a lot of times when I see people that, and this was a while ago, late 90s, early 2000s, but people still know your stats or certain plays that they'll just, well, I remember when you did this. And I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. And I'm like, how did you remember that? It was 20, 30 years ago.
Because that's highlight for a New Yorker, it's like highlights of our life. You know what I'm saying? And the energy, it's funny because you two didn't play together on the team, but the energy that both of you guys brought to the team was very similar. You know, and you know, when you got traded and when Spree came in, it's like filling in that void was very, very difficult. You know what I'm saying? But throughout the 90s, like, the energy that was brought to the court and the energy that you ended up coming in and filling that void that John left, like, it was just,
it would have been nice
crazy
to play with him, though.
It would have been. That would have been.
We almost had the opportunity.
Yeah, we got close, but we talk about it a few times.
Where was it close? And
what here? You know, he was up for contract negotiation.
Myself, Allen, and Reggie Miller. I think Allen set the market that year.
Yeah,
because we went out and got him first, so he kind of set the market. But we were the top 3 two guards available, and I told Patrick I was salty. I was like, they didn't even call me. They just went after Allen. And I wanted to come here, so and they just went after Allen right away.
No, you hit the nail right on top of the head. You know, during that time, I especially remember when Coach Riley came.
Leaving the military is one of the hardest things you'll ever do.
The main point of my job is to let veterans know that someone's there for them.
Coming out of the Marine Corps, didn't really have a general direction of what I wanted to do. I received an email from Northwell, specifically the Military Liaison Services Department. They kind of just took me under their wing. Organizations like the New York Rangers and Northwell having my back is just reassurance that my life after service is going to be a success.
There's a lot of casino apps, but